What happens in the dressing room stays in the dressing room. That's how it is. The space with your teammates, the space away from the noise of a match day, the space away from the stresses of day-to-day life. We all need that escape. We all need somewhere or someone we feel safe to talk to or listen to us for the good, bad and indifferent times. At Margate, we've opened our doors of our changing rooms to open up on the conversations that need to be had about men's mental health. It's not just about football, it's about life. For us football fans, it's sometimes hard to tell the difference, isn't it? In England, around 1 in 8 men has a common mental health condition, such as depression, anxiety, panic disorder, or obsessive compulsive disorder. That's one person in each starting 11 of a football game. It's time to have a conversation. Join us. Welcome inside our dressing room.
What's a life lesson that football has taught you?
Not to put your eggs in one basket. Yeah. I mean, when obviously being in a full-time environment, I feel like you're in a bubble. So it's like you're not in the real world. But then when you come to the real world, you realise that there's so many things in life more than football. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, when they're young and want to be a professional, you never have a plan B. You always think I'm going to be a footballer, like have a 10-year career, but that's not really realistic. Like because when you go into non-league, you're part-time, you might need to find a job, and you need to try and create different revenues of income because football's not forever. You know what I mean? So that's what football's taught me personally. Like there's other avenues to life than just football, because more time people retire at 35, 40. That's if you're lucky. And after that, some people go bankrupt, X, Y, and Z. You know what I mean? You have to try and put things in place so that when you do get to that age, you're not struggling. You know what I mean? Yeah.
I think the key word that's resilience, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think that's one thing I'd like to think I've been good at, because obviously I've dropped from standard to standard, but I've also seen players that I think were better than me completely drop out of the game. So I know I've got a certain resilience to be able to still be at it and still be
motivated,
say making money out of it or whatever, or still enjoying my football, still playing week to week. But at the same time, you could look at it another way and go, hang on a minute, I was playing here, I was doing this here, like why am I now down at this level? And but you've got to have the right level of resilience to be able to keep pushing on with it, and it makes you keep enjoying it as well. Because that's hard. We've all probably been there where we've been at times at a non-league club where you're standing there thinking this is rubbish, and you think I've been at much better than this. I'm getting coached rubbishly, I'm getting treated terribly, and you could probably take an easy step out of the game, couldn't you? You think, you know what, I'm giving up my Saturdays for this, is it really worth it? But personally, I've never had that mentality, because I'm lucky enough that my whole day-to-day is football, so my whole life is football. So I think it's actually given me a pathway, really. So I think I'm quite blessed for that.
I think getting too comfortable as well. I've been there myself all enough. You know, we've been at pro clubs and that, you think, oh, you made it, and then it hits the fan when you go, you know, you've got to get a new contract, and like you said, find another career after that as well. Just don't get too comfortable. Always work hard, try and just do your best at the ball. How many players want to be a footballer, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What's the chances of making a footballer? 1% or more?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Very, very slim. So yeah, that's what I'd say to that one, really.
Everyone needs walls being built.
Of course, yeah. A big wall.
We'll get a brick like that.
How do you look out for your teammates? Start us, brother.
I see my teammates like my family, so any problem that they have, I bring it onto myself as well. And I'm a totally different person to who I am on and off the pitch. So on the pitch, I'm just a little bit violent, but that's because they're my brothers. So I just care for my family.
I just think you've got to look out for everyone in general, because you've got all different backgrounds, ages, throughout the team. So
yeah, I think again it goes back to positivity as well. You just someone makes a mistake, you pick each other up. Obviously you've got to be critical of each other and make sure that you're got each other's back to be as good as they can be, but at the same time you just got to be positive as well.
How do you deal with common football setbacks, like not being selected, dropped to the bench, released? Are there any tips you would share with the other players?
For me, I think the main thing is being where you have a tight support unit around you, so whether that be family or your teammates and stuff like that. me personally going through getting released as well, I'd say it's probably one of the toughest moments that I've had in my career. And just try not to get too high when things are going well, and then when things aren't going well, try not to get too low and let it get to your heart. So,
yeah. Previously speaking as well, I was released as well. I just think that you should have a good mental state, which is quite hard. But as Bill said, like having the right people around you.
Yes.
Especially me as well, God as well, He can help you, your family, anyone around you, and that you should always think logically, not emotionally. Because when you react emotionally, anything can happen. You know what I'm trying to say, and everything happens for a reason. To be fair.
My take on that would be just, for example, if you're dropped to the bench, I'd say how I deal with that it just motivates me to work harder off the pitch, or when you're not at the ground, what you do outside of training, outside of the match, just work harder to be selected next time. Don't be too hard on yourself, just get on with it and just work harder. Don't feel sorry for yourself.
Yeah. And also just touching on that point as well, like, because in recent weeks I found myself at the team as well. I'd say, because we've got such a tight group, like there's some of the lads, some of the players that are helping me out, saying like, just what you're doing is good, just keep working hard and your opportunity will come. And you know, that's the sort of things that my parents would say as well, but hearing it from another voice, I think it's a bit more refreshing.
Yeah.
You know.
Does your mood change when you lose, win, draw a game? How do you manage those different emotions?
100%. Especially if you lose a game.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, the mood changes around the whole team, doesn't it? Changing room, training.
Yeah, I think it
Until the next game.
affects my week, to be fair.
Yeah, until the next game comes about.
Again, you can't dwell so much on your last game because you just gotta perform quick. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, we ain't really got that much time to kind of think about what we done wrong.
Just got to get over it and move on.
This is it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put it behind you, look at the future, right?
How does social media affect your mood, and how do you deal with negatives to it?
Personally, me, especially because I use social media quite a lot. Some highs is that because when you have like a good following and a good fan base, some people motivate you to do better. You're going to do better for the people around you. But social media can also be a negative and a toxic place because you're not doing well. There's not a lot of people around you. Like a lot of people tend to be fake. But when you're high, a lot of people are there type of thing. So I just believe that don't play into social media too much, especially because you can look at others doing better than you and start comparing yourself, and it starts messing with your mind. So just focus on yourself and don't prioritize social media, prioritize your personal life. That's just me personally.
Every year, 1 in 10 will experience depression or anxiety. That means someone in every starting 11. What can we do to check on the people we enjoy football with and away from the pitch too? I think, just a quick one on that is, I don't think people understand, I don't think a lot of fans understands how actually hard football can be. Because you can be in that change room getting grilled every single week. You can be making mistakes and you're letting your whole team down. And you don't know how heavy that can be on your shoulders. And especially if we're talking full-time football. I remember spending Christmas Day in Inverness, and that was the normality. And people think I look at it for the pros, and I know they make so much money, they make stupid amounts of money, and it's worth it for that. But the majority of them have one or 2 weeks holiday. So like, at what point do they ever get to rest? At what point do you ever get to just enjoy a bit of time off? They're spending Thursday and Friday nights in hotels before a game. So I think actually that can be at a much higher level. Think how much depression and anxiety can fit in when it's just non-stop.
All the time.
All the time.
It's hard. I think as a team as well, like when you obviously do team bonding, nights out and stuff like that, that takes your mind away from football. It creates a different environment away from football. So it's like it's positive. You know what I mean? Like this team bonding. What can you do? What can you do to avoid?
We're saying how much depression and anxiety there is.
I'm saying, what can you do?
What can you do to check with people?
Even message each other,
check in there, drop in,
and never judging the person, like understanding maybe someone's lifestyle might be different to another person. You know what I mean? Because even in the changing, bro, like you don't know everyone.
There's different people.
You know what I mean? You might see somebody down, and we might be thinking, oh, we might even do like even bands like. Let's say for example, because obviously it's a good change room, like you might be bantering, but there might be a day that I might look sad, but you don't might be bantering me like once you're taking a piss or something. Yeah. But you never know what it's actually going through, you know what I mean?
Same as Blackie comes in and tells everyone they're rubbish.
Yeah.
I think don't take someone's like, oh, I'm alright as like, obviously you don't want to go too far into their life, but with blokes they're a bit like, nah, I'm alright when they're not. Do you know what I mean? That's the whole big thing.
Show it that people that find
that's a mental thing. It's a pride.
It's a pride thing with men. That's what it is.
I think the biggest thing is like where we're after the game, we all go to have a drink after, and I think we let steam off. But I suppose the truth is, what if there is someone that's sitting there and there's not letting steam off, and
it's right.
he's really bothered by it, or he's gone home, because there's two ways of looking at that. We've all been in the change room and think, oh, he's gone home. Why is he going home? And you probably look at it in a negative way first, going, oh, is he not part of us?
But then you don't know what he's going through. You can ask him. You know what I mean? Maybe away from home.
I think it's shit. I think the whole process of things is just talking more, isn't it? Like I said at the beginning, talk more.
If a footballer has a physical injury, it's treated and looked after. How important is it to talk about and look after our mental health too?
Just as important.
Do you know, it's mad because I remember a couple months, or last year actually, I done my Achilles tendon, and that was the worst time of my life. Like not being able to play football, going to the training ground and watching the lads play and train, and it's difficult because I'm a sort of person, I'm very vocal, so I love to be around people, I love to make jokes, I'm a people's person, and at that time I felt like I had nobody and I couldn't speak to anybody, and when I did speak to people, I have to kind of be like this tough guy, this I can't talk to anybody sort of person, which was bad. So it's definitely important to speak to people.
What are you going to talk to us now?
No, 100%, but you're just in that mind frame of like, you know what, I just want to be left alone. Like no one understands what I'm going through.
You feel out of it compared to everyone else when they're training. Like, you're not alone, but at the end of the day you feel it because you are on your own when you're
but that's where communication comes into it. You can't just communicate when we're on the pitch, off the pitch, during injuries, just even a little message. How you doing, bro? You're alright. How you really do it? Do you know what I'm saying? Because when you ask people how you doing, it's gonna be like, yeah, I'm alright. They don't want to seem weak. But I feel like men in general, I feel like we feel vulnerable when we open up to another man.
Yeah, you don't want to talk about it.
It's like we don't want to talk about it, but we have to talk about it because them sort of things can really affect you. So it's good to open up and just talk about what is actually the issue, but from holding it and bottling it up because it's gonna end up exploding.